Organic marketing is dying. Operating an online business, especially in the coaching space, is becoming pay to play. So if you're not using ads, you're kind of screwed. So in this video, I'm going to show you and walk you through the exact ad strategy that I've used to help dozens of other coaches add 5K to 15K per month for as little as $5 per day in ad spend, without having to post more content, ever go viral, or even build a big audience. So let's talk about the big problem first. Let me guess, your inbox is probably pretty empty. You're constantly chasing, DMing every new person that follows you. You're burnt out, having to post multiple times per day on multiple different platforms. You're stuck on the old content hamster wheel, and you never know exactly where your next client is going to come from. This is the result of relying on organic content. So if you're only using organic content to grow your business, it's kind of like buying a lottery ticket and using that as your retirement plan. And your odds of winning the Powerball lottery, for example, are 1 in 292,200,000 something, right? Now, I'm not usually a betting man, but I would bet that you've got similar odds of being successful at building a coaching business by only relying on organic content and trying to go viral and using that as your only lead generation strategy. And this is coming from somebody that has got 200 plus million views on social media and has gained almost 430,000 followers. I promise you, it's not all it's cracked up to be. And this is a lesson I learned the hard way. So there's a lot of things that need to go right for organic content and for viral content to work as a marketing strategy. Your content needs to consistently go viral all the time so that your profits aren't going up and down every single month. And when a piece of content does go viral, it needs to get shown to the right age group of people, the right gender of people, the right location of people that can actually afford your prices, and it needs to find the right people at the right time in their life as well. The chances of all 5 of these variables constantly and consistently lining up every single month is probably actually less than your chances of winning the lottery. So that's problem number 1. To make matters even worse, I'm sure you probably noticed as well that it's becoming more and more difficult for the content that you post to actually reach the audience that you already have on social media, which means like your audience, your follower count on social media just doesn't matter anymore. So growing an audience is not as beneficial as it used to be in the past. And I'm sure you've noticed, like when you post a reel, you're lucky if 20 to 30% of the people that view your reel are actually people in your audience, people that actually follow you. The majority of people that see your content are non-followers. So you can't even nurture and warm up your audience anymore if you're only using organic content. So we've got quite the problem here. We have quite the problem that we need to solve. And organic content just isn't doing it anymore. Organic content is dying, or maybe it's already dead. So what is the solution? Well, to solve this problem, we need to start by building a predictable and a controllable lead generation system. A system where when you put $1 in, you get a set amount of dollars back out. This is essentially the closest thing that you'll ever have to owning your own ATM cash machine. And if you don't have that kind of predictability and control over your lead generation, you don't really have a business. All you have is that lottery ticket, which is not a very effective plan if you're trying to scale. So we should probably build that ATM cash machine for your business then, right? So I call my system the Daily Client Machine. Simply put, it uses Instagram ads that you can run for as little as $5 per day to attract your dream clients and have them sliding into your DMs where you can convert them into clients in cash. And if you do this right, you're going to have 5 to 15, maybe more, inbound leads every single day. And it does not require you to constantly post new content every single day either. So I'm going to walk you through why I think that you should use this system here and how you can install it into your business today to solve your lead generation problem for good and forever. So first things first, to make this ad strategy work as best as possible, your Instagram profile needs to be optimized for conversations. Your bio, your highlights, your pin posts, all need to have call to actions to get inbound leads into your DMs. And then ongoing, every single post that you do make, every single story that you post should also have a call to action to offer a free lead magnet in exchange for a conversation, right? We're using everything on that Instagram profile to start as many conversations as possible because conversions happen in conversations. So you do not want to be direct selling in your ads, in your posts, in your stories. That's going to turn people off, right? We want to sell in private, but we want to use our public facing ads and content and stories to start conversations where we can actually do the selling in private, right? So everything front facing is engineered to just start as many conversations as possible. And then what that does is it basically turns your Instagram profile into like a landing page that pushes everybody into our DMs, kind of like a funnel, right? So this is how we get so many inbound leads from the ads once we have turned that system on. So once you have that understanding and you have that foundation in place, it's time to run the ads. So the core of this ad system here uses what are generally called follower ads. So you've probably seen them before. You've probably seen a lot of people running them on Instagram, but most coaches use them very, very wrong. Most people try to optimize for growing their audience, and they'll use a call to action on their ad telling people to follow you. Right? This worked in 2022, 23, maybe a little bit in 2024, but in 2025, that just doesn't work anymore, and it's not optimal at all. The reason this is pointless is because, like I mentioned, your follower count doesn't matter anymore. And as we talked about, most of the time, your audience doesn't even see your content. So that's kind of a stupid goal to optimize for. So here's what to do instead. Your call to action directly on your ad should be to comment a keyword in exchange for a free lead magnet. We are leading with that offer right on the front end. This way, you are starting conversations right away with the best leads who want their problem solved right now, not later on. Now, to set expectations here, the majority of people that see your ad or engage with your ad are probably not going to comment right away. Most people just are not going to trust you enough right away to engage yet, unless they've already seen some of your content in the past before, or if they're in like a really painful situation right now and they're actively searching for a solution. Then they might. So you're still going to get some comments on the ads for sure. That's the goal that we're optimizing for, but you're probably still going to get more followers than comments. That's okay, right? We're just trying to get some comments right now on the ad because that's going to give us a faster return on our ad spend so that we're not waiting weeks or months or many, many months down the line to get people to engage down the road. We're trying to optimize to collect those maybe 2 to 3% of people that are seeing your ad that are ready to take action right now or are searching for a solution right now, right? That's who we're optimizing for, but we're going to get a lot of other benefits out of the ad as well, right? Hopefully that makes sense. So the ones that then don't comment on your ad right away are going to go to your Instagram profile that are then hopefully somewhere down the line going to get pushed into a conversation through some other path on your Instagram profile, right? Which is why we have to have that foundation set first with your pin posts, your highlights, all your other feed posts, your stories, all that kind of fun stuff, right? So that's the foundation. Now, how do you actually use these or create these follower ads? You've got two options here, really. You can create an ad from scratch with the sole purpose of getting comments for that lead magnet, like we talked about, and then just boost that post. Simple as that. That's option one. Option number two, which I would say is probably the best option if you can do it. What works best is if you already have an organic post that did very well, that was like an outlier with the rest compared to the rest of your content in terms of getting comments and generating leads, you can just boost that post instead and use that as an ad. Now, both of these options do work. I've had clients who've had success with either option, but if possible, I would say always lean towards option number two in testing something organically first, finding that outlier post, and then boosting that. That's going to work better in most situations. So when you do boost these ads here or boost these posts with either option, you'll want to use Meta Business Suite. Don't use the Instagram app or there's going to be extra fees on top of the ad spend that you're using on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, right? So when you're boosting them through Meta Business Suite, you want to boost them with the campaign goal of more profile visits, right? So on the surface level, these are basically follower ads to the core, right? We're just with the call to action on the post is the main thing that we're changing to optimize for comments and conversions right away rather than just followers, right? Hopefully that all makes sense. So I'll pop some examples on the screen over here of some of my clients' follower ads that you can kind of look at here for examples here. So a few different options that you can use for these ads is that you can use the short little like 5 to 7 second B-roll ads with no talking, where you just kind of put the text on screen with your call to action. You call it who it's for, who it's not for, that kind of stuff. Everything's right on the screen and in the caption itself. The other thing you can do is you can like create a talking head video, basically just like this video right here, where you're speaking in your ad and you explain who it's for, who it's not for, what the freebie is that you're offering, and then you just say your call to action. So when you're choosing which one to do, I would say just do whatever one feels easiest to you, whatever one you feel most comfortable with, and start with that. You can test the other option in the future if you want. Again, both these options work very well and I guess it's a big if you do one thing right. So here is, I would say, the most important detail with making these ads work successfully. Ads have become very, very easy to set up and to run now. You don't need to understand any complicated setups or use any magical interest targeting like you used to have to use before to get them to work. Meta's AI system that they use has become very, very good at getting your ads in front of the right people. If in your ads you are including within like the text that you're speaking, the text on the screen, the text in your caption, it is very, very clear at calling out and speaking directly to your ideal client. So when you're creating these ads, whether it's like a B-roll ad or a spoken ad, 90% or more of your time and your effort should go into crafting the messaging and calling out the right people while repelling and pushing away the wrong people. It's also really important to note that if you want high quality leads here, don't focus on talking about logical details or features. You want to be selling the transformation and the emotional change that they're going to experience if they work with you on this very, very first touch point. Even though we're offering something free, we're not selling coaching programs. We want to bring in the right people that are more focused on the transformation, not just looking for the logical outcomes here, right? That is going to drastically improve the quality of the lead that you get from these ads. So that's the most important thing. If your ads don't work, it is because the messaging in your ads is not good enough. It's either not speaking to the right people, or you're not offering something that is intriguing enough or interesting enough that your ideal clients actually want. It's one of those two things. So if your ad isn't working, solve one of those two problems. Now, the big question: how much do you need to spend to make these ads work effectively? So I would suggest that most coaches should start out with $5 to $10 per day. So you launch the ads, you run them $5 to $10 per day for a few weeks, you start generating some conversations, you sign some of those conversations into clients and cash. And then my suggestion is that most people should be reinvesting about 10 to 15% of their monthly profits back into ads if they want to scale as fast as possible. So I want you to think about that reinvesting kind of like a scale tax. So most people probably pay your normal taxes every quarter or every year. And those normal taxes that you pay, they just kind of steal away from your profits, but they don't actually help you grow your business, right? But this scale tax helps you grow your business much, much quicker. And a little side note here, any money that you do spend on ads can be used as a tax write-off. So the more money you spend on ads, the less money you actually have to pay the government. So it's kind of like a win-win in every situation. So it should be a non-negotiable for every coach that is serious about scaling your business. So I don't want you to think about it as a cost or as an expense, or that you're losing cash up front, or you're having to take a bunch of cash out of your pockets, right? Because your new clients that you get every single month are going to continue to pay for your ads in the future. And then both numbers just kind of snowball up over time. The amount of money that you spend on ads every single month is going to increase over time, but the amount of money that you're making is going to drastically snowball over time. So don't think about this as losing money. You are taking money, reinvesting it into your business so that you can make more money in the future. So that the more money you spend this month means more cash collected next month. That's really it. That is the Daily Client Machine. It is extremely simple and easy to use. So just to kind of recap and summarize everything. Number one, optimize your Instagram profile and your content for conversations. Number two, make a quality piece of content offering a lead magnet, or boost a winning post, a winning organic post that has already generated a ton of leads for you. Boost it with the goal of more profile visits. Then your audience is going to grow on autopilot, and you develop this ongoing pipeline of leads that you're going to be creating every single month going forward. And lastly, most importantly, you're going to start getting inbound leads every single day, and you're never ever going to need to worry about lead generation ever again. Pretty sweet deal, right? So this is by far the easiest and the best way that I've found to scale a coaching business. If you are not already using ads, or you don't want to use ads, you're not serious about growing your business. Organic marketing is dying if it's not already dead. So the game that we're playing here is becoming pay to play. So you have to pay if you want to win. So if you would like my help to install the system into your business, I'll drop a link below with more information on my mentorship program. Or if you want to learn more about how this system here fits into the bigger picture of my complete business model that I use, check out this video right here.